Great to have my next guest on the show. It's Kyle Hill. We'll be back in action at NEF 57, April the 20th, when he takes on Caleb Hall in Bangor, Maine. Kyle, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to talk to you. I appreciate the time stepping away from the gym to discuss this upcoming matchup. This is a big one, man. Caleb's a guy that, he's got a lot of ties here in Maine. He's got a stellar record. When you first heard the opponent, what was your initial thoughts?
Um, Honestly, excitement. I was excited to get an opportunity to face another wrestler. It's cool that it's happening like early in my pro career that I'm facing these decorated grapplers.
Do you feel, I mean, I know you got a bunch of killers that you train with day to day at Nostos, but do you feel like you fought anybody, amateur or pro, that is on par with his wrestling credentials?
My first amateur fight was against a D1 wrestler. So yeah, I battle with guys in the gym all the time with great wrestling pedigrees, like Ross Danner, David Burke, Josh Smith. Like these guys are killers. Nate Grimmard, like they know how to wrestle. I've wrestled.
For sure. Yeah, no doubt about it. And this, I believe, is his first fight coming up to 170. Do you think that that's going to be a big difference in this fight? It could affect him negatively here.
I think so. I mean, if you saw that poster that NEF put up, he looks like a brick shithouse, dude. He's a big man, but he's short. I think he's like 5'8" or something. I'm 6'1". So I think the reach is going to be a problem for him.
Yeah, totally different body types. You're tall and long. He's short and stacked. So it's going to be
Yep.
interesting just visually looking at this come fight night.
Yeah, man.
You're coming up to Bangor. Obviously, there's not as much to do around here as there is, maybe down where you live. But are you coming up a little extra early, or is it just basically you're coming up for weigh-ins that day, get on point, fight, and head home?
I'll I think the team and I will head up there a few days before to like get acclimated up there. It's not too far away. I think it's like only 2.5 hours or something, but just be up there, cut weight with the team, and then step on the scale and fight.
Yeah, I'm envious of you guys that are down there in like Southern Maine and New Hampshire. That's like the perfect spot because you're close to Boston if you want to go to any games. You're close to Portland. There's a lot to do there. I live up in Bangor, and no matter where I go, I have to travel all day. It's just I don't know. I'm thinking about moving maybe.
Yeah, I'm travel's rough for me, dude. I travel like basically 2 hours every day to and from the gym, so I hear you there.
Where exactly do you live now?
I live in Northwood, New Hampshire, so it's like a 50-minute drive to Nostos, and then on the way home, same thing,
Mhm.
50 minutes, around 2 hours.
Just goes to show the dedication that you have for this sport and what you're trying to do with your career. Things are going pretty darn good for you so far now that you've turned pro. Are you happy with your performances and where you're at right now?
Yeah, I'm happy. But there's more to be done. Like, yeah, sure, I can be happy in a moment, but dude, I'm not gonna be satisfied after like good wins. I want to keep winning. I want to get to that next level.
I feel like you're quickly becoming one of the top young prospects here in New England. Do you feel that? Like, does that add any extra pressure if you are noticing that type of hype?
No, I no pressure for me at all. I remember Brody and I saying like at the start of our amateur careers, like this is what was gonna happen, and it's unfolding now. Like we're just gonna keep showing them that we're here to fight and we are the top prospects in New England.
You've had a couple of big wins at Combat FC. Let's just go back to the one before the last one. That was the viral head kick. I guess viral-ish, right? A lot of people saw that, and that was
Yeah.
just a beautiful way to end the fight. It was just a walk-off, something that you'd see. I'm trying to think of someone that was, is it Mark Hunt? Mark Hunt used to knock someone out and just turn around and walk away. That was very Mark
Oh yeah.
Hunt-like.
Yeah. That was definitely an exciting finish. For me, it was just like once I hit him with that kick, I saw it in his eyes, like everything, like his life just left him, and there was no reason to follow up. I was more like hands in the air, like waiting for the ref, like, dude, what are you doing? Pull me away so I don't have to punch this dude again.
Then you follow that up at Combat FC 6, round two RNC victory over a tough game opponent. What was the game plan going in there against Cameron, and how did the adjustments go going into round two that you heard from Devin in the corner?
So for when I fought Cameron, that was a fight that both of us took on 4 days notice because my original opponent, like I think he got hurt or something in camp. But it was a completely style change. Like I went from fighting a southpaw like karate striker to then fighting Cam, who was a orthodox wrestler. Um, but like it's we do this all the time in the gym. Like we switch training partners and adjust to people. So my Devin and Nick were confident in the fight, and I was if they're confident, I'm confident. Let's go.
How do you like fighting for Combat FC? Is it different than other promotions that you fought for?
It's definitely. I feel like it's definitely different. I really enjoy fighting for Combat FC, and I hope they continue to give me opportunities. I like the promotion. I like the cage. It's fun to fight there.
I'm sure you feel the same way about NEF. You get a lot of support when you come up to New England fights.
Yep.
What's the excitement level like to be fighting on this event?
Oh, I'm beyond excited to fight on this event. This is like another like check mark for me because we're fighting in an arena, which is super cool for me. The little kid inside of me really is happy about that. But yeah, I'm pumped to see it. I've never been at a NEF event where they've had an arena. I'm not sure if they've fought in arenas before, but I'm excited to see how it's set up.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be way different than when they were in the ballroom at the Cross Center. So a lot more room, a lot more fans. I'm intrigued to see how they're going to set it up as well. And across the street is Hollywood Slots Casino. Are you a gambling man? Do you like to go and test your luck gambling at all?
No, not at all. Devin likes to gamble just for the fun of it, but no, dude, I can't do it.
What about
No.
betting on fights? Like before you get to the UFC, you can. Then once you get there, Kyle, you're not going to be able to. So,
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you going to tell? Are you going to do that on your way on your journey until you get there?
Yeah, I don't know. Me and my buddies will like maybe like put down a few bucks on a fight, but I don't really bet on fights. No.
Were you surprised to see Taporia knock out Volk?
Yes, I was. My Nick was telling me, my one of my striking coaches, he was telling me he's like, dude, Tapore's gonna like murder Volk. And I was like, no, I'm holding out. Like Volk was one of my favorites. I remember him and Max fighting for the first time, and he just like made me a fan the way he beat Max.
Yeah, man. I was down at the Brook for that fight card, and I had a 7 fight parlay. I hit on all six, and I just needed Volk to win, and I would have won like a lot of money. I ended up
Yeah.
winning 200, but the difference of what I won versus what I would have won, I still I can't get into it because it
Oh
makes me
man, that's
crazy. But
rough.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about like fights moving forward in the UFC? Like UFC 299 this weekend, UFC 300 is going to
Yep.
be the week before you fight. Is there any matchups that, just the fan in you is really excited to see?
I'm a big like Cheeto and Sugar Sean fan, so I'm really excited to see how that matchup is gonna go. Sean like says that he's never lost, but Cheeto's the guy who did beat him. He damaged his leg and then elbowed him on the ground. But I love the way Sugar moves. Like his feints are very high level and he's very quick and precise. He picks his shots. He doesn't just like throw and hope.
Mhm. What about Pereira and Jamal Hill? What do you see in that fight?
Oh, that's a good fight too. I think I think Pereira is going to be pretty big at 205. I don't think he's like going to lose anything. I mean, he's fought there before, but Jamal is so good. Jamal, I feel like there's some stat on Jamal that like he does not get hit much, but he's in the pocket a lot.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm excited for that matchup too because Pereira's got a killer left hook.
It's going to be an exciting fight. The whole
Yeah,
card is amazing. And obviously, Kyle, for you, the goal has to be the UFC, right? Like you wouldn't be in
yeah.
this unless you wanted to chase it and see how far you could go. I mean, what is Devin telling you? I mean, you're so early on in your pro career right now, but you got someone that's already been there. He knows what it's like to be there. Like, what kind of I guess feedback is he giving you as you're progressing?
I mean, he's helped me level up so much along the way, but I mean, he's just telling me to stick to the path, dude. Like I, this is my life. Like I train every day, 2 to 3 times every day. I don't really take days off ever. Stick to the path and keep these fights rolling. For a while, I think in my amateur career, I was kind of like spacing out fights a lot. I would like fight, maybe once every 6 months or something. But he really wants me to string him along this time. Like have a fight and then like 2 months later fight again. 2 months later fight again. Month later fight again.
Do you have a job outside of everything you do at Nostos, or are you training and teaching and you're in the gym full time?
Yeah, that's what I do. I train, I coach, and my life is here, dude.
Wow. So I mean, that just goes to again to show, like I said earlier, about like your dedication. Do you ever do anything to give yourself a break mentally from combat sports? Like, what else do you really get into outside of MMA?
Oh man. Not much. I like hiking and stuff, but dude, outside of that, like in unless it's like summertime, like I'll play basketball with my boys, but that's it. I don't really do too much else.
Did you play basketball growing up? Like, like high school at all?
No, I didn't play in high school at all. But it's just something that like my friends and I have bonded over, and we always play and do pickup games and stuff. It's fun.
Yeah, that was my first love. I played a couple years in college, and I'm a 5'10" guy. I couldn't dunk, so like I kind of
Yep.
leveled out. But I love the sport, and I still follow it. Are you a Celtics fan?
I mean, I'm a fan, but I don't follow basketball. Like mixed martial arts is like everything to me. It's hard, and the way I follow MMA too, it's really hard to like follow their
Mhm.
sports.
That is true. That is true. Are you a sneakerhead? I know David Burke is a sneakerhead like myself. Do you have any nice
I
kicks?
do, I do like some sneakers. The Jordan 11 Concords are like some of my favorites. But I don't have any like nice shoes or anything. No,
What size are you?
12.
You're size 12. Okay. That would be like a nice gift that someone could give you. You win a belt here, right? You could get some Jordan 11 Concords.
Oh, that would be sweet. Yeah, that'd be
All right.
dope.
Did I see too, Kyle, that a basketball team actually sponsored you?
Yeah, like yes, Rivals Elite. They're like a promotion for basketball players. Yeah, that was pretty cool. One of my buddies, Andrew Sajko, is like kind of close with the one of the head guys over there, and Scott reached out to me after that Combat FC KO and sponsored me.
That's so cool, man. Yeah, things are going good for you. Tell me, camp at Nostos, you're right in the middle of things right now. I got a lot of wrestlers getting you ready for Caleb Hall. Is that basically the main focus of your camp is stuff and takedowns, just working like off the fence? Like what are you working on mostly right now?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, definitely takedown defense. I feel like I do have good takedown defense, and I think because of my stance and how I've fought, I think Caleb thinks that he's going to take me down really easy. But distance control, stuffing takedowns, not panicking when I get up. Caleb has a lot of good submission finishes. Like I'm not taking this guy lightly at all. He's got a good record. He is coming up a weight class, but like I'm taking this guy as serious as anybody.
Yeah, he's 4-0 fighting for NEF, all four submission victories. Having said
Yeah,
that, I don't necessarily know that he's fought anyone as talented as you are. Do you feel
yep.
like he's fought anyone on your level of just your overall game?
I mean, not that I've seen. We've watched film on him. I most of the time leave that up to my coaches, but we've watched film on him. I haven't seen a performance against him, against a guy like me. No,
Mhm.
I haven't.
Did you watch his last fight? The one loss that he has now as a professional, he lost at LFA. It was a scarf hold arm lock. Did you look
Yeah.
at that fight and dissect it at all?
Oh yeah. No, I definitely dissected it. It looked like he hurt that arm pretty bad in that fight. I was wondering if that had anything to do with his move up to 70. Injuries can play a big role in weight cutting. But yeah, I mean, I've been looking at a lot of his fights. I'm really excited to fight this guy.
What's the heaviest you get nowadays? Like if you're out, if I mean, it sounds like you're in camp every day of the week nonstop, but if you take a day off here or there, you decide to eat a pizza or just do something
Yeah.
bad as far as your diet goes, how heavy do you get?
Oh man. Um, Most recently, after this last Combat FC fight, a week later, I was like 202. But I can get up to like 210, dude. I like if I'm really enjoying myself, eating the sweets and the pizza, yeah, I can definitely get pretty big.
And Brody, he's got a fight around the corner, right? Tell me
Yep.
how he's looking and what we're expecting to see out of his
Dude,
fight
he
for
looks
Cage Titans.
Brody always looks sharp and he's a workhorse like myself. He's just in the gym day in and day out. This is a great fight for him. Um, I'm very excited for Brody. Very excited.
You and him are very close. Would you say that he's maybe your main training partner, or is it just a handful of guys, really?
No, he's definitely I mean, he's the him and I see each other every day. We either drill or like work together every day. So yeah, he's definitely my main training partner. Like if he's not in the room, sometimes I feel a little bit lost. I'm like looking around at the guys like, oh God, who do I drill with?
Yeah, Joe Holmes told me that Brody, popped him, gave him a good shot when he came there to train. Were you there
Yeah.
when Joseph Holmes came down to Nostos?
Uh I wasn't there. I can't remember what the reasoning was, but I wasn't there that day. It might have been like some sort of like foot injury or something.
Okay, well, that's too bad. Maybe there'll be another opportunity down the line. But it
Yeah.
looks like Devin and just the team, they're always bringing in like high level guys for seminars and stuff. I mean, how cool
Yep.
is that for like the younger fighters on your team, that, have aspirations to be, where you're at. And ultimately, in the UFC, like some of these guys, like, the immortal Matt Brown. Well, what is that like around the gym when you get someone of that level that comes?
I think sometimes, like, even myself, dude, we kinda, like, take it for granted, like, sometimes like, obviously, we go into these seminars and we try to learn, like, everything we can and take away everything we can, but, like, Devin just is so good at, like, bringing these high level guys in that, like, it's starting to feel normal being around them, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean by taking it for granted, like, starting to be normal to see, like, guys like Mason Fowler and Matt Brown, Gabriel Varga, like Nongo, all these guys that are coming down to train with us. It's awesome.
Are you starting to notice more and more, younger fighters wanting to be in there training at Nostos? Is that challenging for Devin to decipher, who's going to come in and be with the fight team and who's not?
Yeah, but we always see guys. I mean, I guarantee in every gym, like you hear it all the time. Guys that come in and they're like, "Yeah, I want to train UFC. I want to be a fighter." And it's like, "Yeah, okay, dude, give yourself a week, and then we'll see where you go." Because a lot of these guys that say they come in and they want to fight, like they don't want to train. Like, and you don't get to fight if you don't train hard.
Mhm.
You don't deserve it.
Have you actually heard someone say recently that they want to train UFC? Is that still a thing? Some people actually say that.
Dude, I swear I still hear people say it. Like a casual will come in and be like, "Yeah, dude, you guys do UFC here?" And it's like, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Goodness gracious. Well, hey, the UFC, I mean, it goes without saying, it's the premier promotion in the world. But, you look at PFL acquiring Bellator and that merge right there. I think that's a big deal. For you, as you continue to evolve, is that something that, you consider, fight? I mean, we saw, Nathaniel Grimard fight there for PFL. Is that
Yep.
an avenue that you take as well? Or are you just kind of like eyes set on the UFC?
I mean, absolutely. I think it's great that these big league promotions are starting to have like more of them. It's good for both businesses. I think the competition is good. But dude, getting on like a PFL like $1 million tournament, that would be sweet as well. Like any shot into the big league, I'm obviously gonna take.
Would you say that there's someone's style that's, at the top of the level right now, whether it's UFC or Bellator, PFL, that you're similar to, that maybe you've heard your game is relatable to?
Um, I'm Devin and Nick. They say that I strike a lot like Corey Sandhagen, and I agree. I really love his style. I love the way he moves. Some I definitely stand a little bit wider than him, but like our hand feints are pretty similar.
Yeah, and he's highly, highly intelligent too. Are you open, or like would Devin be open? Like if you, wanted to go somewhere for a weekend just to kind of get different looks, train at a different gym, is that something that you'd consider, or is that not anything that you're trying to do or want to do?
No, Devin actually encourages that from the guys. He encourages us to like go out and like get new looks from people. And Brody and I go down to Connor Matthews gym a lot with Pete. That's your mom's basement. They're
Yep.
great guys, high level athletes, and they're also very smart coaches as well.
All right, yeah, definitely. Connor Matthews is the man. I've been fortunate enough to talk to him a couple times as well. As far as Nostos fighters on this upcoming card, are you going to have a lot more? Like, I know you can't probably announce anything before the NEF does,
Yeah.
but any idea as to how many fighters from the gym will be competing in Bangor come April 20th?
I mean, that was like one of my hangups, dude. I remember they were asking me to fight Caleb, and I was talking to my manager, Carolyn, and she was like, "Yeah, we might have like 10 or 11 guys on this card." And I was like, "Dude, that is too many. Like, that is a lot for the gym." But yeah, like I'm guessing we'll probably have like 7 or 6, which is a lot more manageable. I remember when I fought at Thompson's Point against Curtis, we had like I think it was 8 guys on that card, so it'll be something similar like that.
And I would expect that you guys would plan to go in there, go undefeated or close to it. How
Yep.
challenging is it for you when you have a fight that you're focused on, an important one as a professional, and you have all your teammates that are fighting? Does it take away from your focus at all?
No, I don't. It actually, I feel like it helps a lot. You get a bunch of these like-minded individuals in a room, and we're all going towards the same direction and the same date. Like we're all going to war on that same date, so we're all thinking the same thing, and I think it helps. I don't think it takes away at all.
Okay, I love it. And again, we've talked about Caleb a little bit. We know what he's great at, and probably what his game plan is going to be. What's your prediction here? What do you think we're going to see come fight night up here in Bangor?
I think I think I'm going to get him in the second round. I think that first round he's going to be really panicked on the feet. I think he's going to want to shoot early, and I think he's going to find out the hard way that it's not going to be crazy easy to take me down or keep me down. And that second round will show a lot.
If he does get you down, Kyle, and he has good top control and you're working
Yeah,
off your back, how comfortable do you feel in that position against someone of his pedigree and his top game on the ground?
I mean, very comfortable. If you've ever seen David Burke or Josh Smith, you can just guess that you don't want them on top of you, and I see that all the time. Um, these guys are big dudes, and they're not coming up from 45 to 55 to 70. They're natural 85ers, they're natural 170s, and they're trying to hold me down all the time.
How is Burke's mentality now after suffering another loss? Is his spirits up high?
Yeah, no, David seems good. A loss is never gonna feel good, you know. Um, but yeah, he seems like he's doing well.
Okay, that's good to hear. A big fan of David. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
All you guys at Nostos are very good to me, and I definitely always appreciate the time, my man. Last thing for me before we get out of here, you get this win. You're healthy. Forecast this year for me. How many times would you like to fight? What would be like the perfect 2024 for you?
Yeah, if I fight Caleb and there's no injuries, it's a fight. I would like to fight on that next Combat FC card. I think it's like 5 weeks after. That'd be sweet, and then maybe another time. But we'll play it by ear. I don't want to. I don't. I like looking into the future, but not like planning on the future. It's the fight game. It's unpredictable, and anything can happen.
Understood. Well, I'm excited to see you back up here in Bangor again, April 20th, NEF 57, all the smoke, Kyle Hill, Caleb Hall. It's going to be a big one here in the Bangor area in the combat sports scene. Kyle, as always, man, I appreciate the time. Great to talk to you. Before we do sign off, I want to give you the floor. If there's anything you want to plug, any sponsors or anyone you want to thank, floor is yours.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, man. Obviously thanking all the guys at Nostos. And I just wanted to shout out one of my main sponsors. They've been with me from the jump, Doors to Floors, DTF. I always appreciate them over there.